Good afternoon, YouTube. Just got another cast iron skillet in to review against the Stargazer. Pretty great pan, actually. I really enjoy this so far. As you can see, it's quite shiny and smooth. It's got a, I don't know, it looks kind of like Jupiter or something with the way it swirls. Cooks really well. I actually quite like this handle. It is heavier, but it's true, it really doesn't heat up until like right about here. So if you hold it right around here, no issues. So let's compare it to this number 8 field skillet. I did take a quick peek here, so it's already open, but let's take a look together here. All right. I like how it's packed, especially compared to the Stargazer, which is packed well, but I noticed that the handle was right up on the edge over here, and I didn't really like that. It didn't cause any issue, but I think this is packed slightly better. Let's pull this out and see how she weighs. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. That is quite nice. See how she sits. Scoot that back some. Oh, that's great. Perfectly flat. So, let's get these next to each other here. Interesting. When this one arrived, I have cooked in it a couple times. I've cooked cornbread and some potatoes. I used a little bit of citric acid on accident with some minced garlic from the fridge. So that's why it kind of has like, you know, you could see where some of the seasoning was eaten away. But I don't think that's really gonna bother it. I have tested cooking an egg in this, and as you saw, I mean, it slid right around, no problem. So, but this is quite interesting. So, if I lift this up, okay, all right. I've got a feel for that. Now let's quickly lift it. Oh yeah. All right. I like that quite a bit. I have to be honest. It feels good. It feels very good. Handle. Let me see. I like how it kind of curves there underneath. Allows you to kind of grip it better. This one has like a kind of curves in, actually. Still quite nice though. These newer cast iron skillets, no pour spouts, and instead they give you a flared rim, which is supposed to help with pouring. We'll see about that. So, made in the USA. I like that. I did have a Victoria cast iron skillet for a little while from Amazon. I did return it. It was nice, and it is made in Colombia. So I think that one, if you're looking for something, or you come across one made in Colombia, I think that Victoria is still really good. So, last time we cooked some cornbread in this, did the pour test or the fallout test. It left quite a bit of residue in there, but it cleaned up with a light scrub. We'll try it today with this one. I buttered that pan. I will butter this pan. I think some say to put just a little bit of oil in it, but I'm gonna try to keep it fair and do the same thing. So I'll butter this one. And I have a slightly different brand of cornbread, but I mean, cornbread is cornbread. So we'll be back in a little bit once I've got everything in the oven, and take a look at how it's rising, and then we will try seeing how easily it releases the cornbread. So, and yes, I have a lot of cornbread right now. I couldn't eat that whole thing. My girlfriend didn't want to eat it all, so we'll just keep cutting little slices for dinner. rinsed it with a little bit of soap, very, very little bit, hand dried it with a towel to get most of that moisture off of there, and then put it on the oven or on the stove for a second to kind of dry her out. While we're doing that, letting that dry for just a couple seconds here, I forgot to show you what it comes with. Looks like, okay, well, looks like that's it. Let's take a quick peek at what this says here. Thank you for your purchase. We can't wait to see what you make with your filled skillet. On the back, looks like just some detailed instructions. Before you start cooking, gently scrub with soap and water, wipe dry, heat on stove top to evaporate moisture, and apply a thin coat of seasoning oil. Other than that, we're gonna cook some cornbread in it. And I might actually just put a tad bit of grapeseed oil on there, and because I actually think I did that with the Stargazer. So we'll put just a tad bit of that on there. This looks like it's drying up. I really love just how light it is. I mean, I've seen the videos about that, but it's actually impressively light. And some people had concerns, myself included, about like how thin it is here versus like an older one. Oops. But what the company pointed out is their actual cooking base at the bottom here is just as thick, if not more so. So that would explain why it still cooks really well, but it's also lighter. Okay, let's get this cornbread mixed. Okay, I can confirm this thing gets toasty. So there's a side. I did take it off the heat, but that was about 30 seconds ago. Sitting at 200 on that side. Let's see, 200 on that side. How about the middle? 222. The handle, whoo boy, 100 degrees. It gets toasty real fast. Let's see. Yep. Oh yeah. Alright folks, have the cornbread mixture ready. Have the pan lightly oiled after cleaning, very lightly, and then buttered. So let's pop it in, 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. See how she does. Oh, there we go. It's been about 27 minutes. Oh yeah, that looks pretty well cooked. Let's pull it out and take a closer look here. Oh yeah. Oh, that's hot. Okay, so I'll close this up. Turn that off. And we will take a look here. So, oh, smells great. Looks like it's got some nice golden brown crust. And oh yeah. Let that cool for a minute, and I will try to see if it just flips right out. And that is quite impressive. Just a little spot right there. They say cornbread is very good for a layer of seasoning. So if you do this method when you get a brand new cast iron skillet, you're also kind of helping yourself out. So I am honestly quite impressed with this one too. If I have to pick between one of them right now, sorry about the camera, I don't have my girlfriend here today to hold it, so kind of doing both. But yeah, if you told me to pick right now between either of these, man, that is tough. That is very tough, actually. I will say this did a better job with the cornbread, but I only used a little bit of butter on this, and I used a little bit of oil plus a little bit of butter. So I don't know that that was completely fair. I have tested sliding an egg on this one and it works great. Something tells me it'll work great on this one as well. The price of this, if I recall correctly, is $145. I believe they're offering free shipping and there is no tax either. So if you can get that method, it's literally 145 bucks here in America. And then this one, again, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think it was $95. And so you're looking at 50% more for pretty much the same quality results. I would say this one, obviously heavier, but has the nicer handle. This one's lighter. I don't like the handle as much, but it is much lighter. Pour spouts on both of them, not an issue. I've tested both and they pour just fine. No problem. I'm conflicted, honestly, because I'm gonna return one of them. I'm not sure which yet. I will have to update you guys on which one I decided to keep. Right now, I can't decide. I want to keep both, but I'll get in trouble if I try to do that. So, all right, again, the only thing I'll point out is this is just much lighter, and its heat retention is kind of the opposite of that. It gets hot really fast, but it will lose that heat quickly also. All right, let me try to flip this over here. Let's see here. Time. Okay, so as you can see, definitely has a crust on it. We're gonna lower the heat a bit down to about 5 there, because I will admit that looks a little more cooked than I had anticipated, but it's all right. Get some of that oil there. There we go. And where is my heat gun? There we go. Let's check the heat here. So, about 450 degrees right there. About 480 right there. How's the pork chop? 200 degrees. It's hot, at least on the outside. We will let that cook for about 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. I'm okay if it's a little well done. Okay, I've cut into the pork chop. After I eat, I'll come back. Going to try to clean this out. A little difficult with one hand, but let's see how we do here. Just gonna rinse out as much as this grease and oil as we can, and after that we will hand dry it with a paper towel, and then we'll put it on the stove top with medium-low heat and let it dry that way. Once it's fully dry, after about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe just 5 minutes, put a little bit of seasoning oil on there. Grapeseed oil is what I like to use. And I will show you that process here in a few. Okay, so I have hand dried it with a paper towel, and now I have it on the stove with the heat at about 7, just letting that completely dry, and then we will season it with just a little bit of grapeseed oil. Let that dry. Make sure you don't leave excess oil when you are seasoning or reseasoning after cooking. I made that mistake with another one previously, and I had to strip everything and reseason it. So what you want to do is, if you start to see little bits of oil beading up wipe that off and make sure I mean, you want just the thinnest possible coat of oil on your skillet. Okay, so last thing we're gonna do is just a simple egg test and see how it compares to the Stargazer. So let's just put a tad bit of grapeseed oil on there. Not a lot. Typically, from what I've seen in the other YouTuber videos, is they do a little bit of grapeseed oil or their oil of choice with a little bit of butter. So let's try to get a piece of butter in there also. Hang tight a second, guys. There we go. Okay. Alright, we're gonna do an egg test. As you can see, way too hot at the moment. This skillet gets hot. I know I've been saying that a lot, but I mean, this is, wow. So let's lower that temperature even more. I've literally got it on a 2. So I don't think I can get it any better than that. So let's drop this egg in and just see what happens. I'm gonna try a one-handed drop. I hope I can do it. Let's see. Ah, dang it. Huh, I butchered that. It's okay. Let's see here. So now it's gonna be really thin, but that's okay. So, okay, let's see. Oh, well, there's your answer, guys. So it's a weird looking egg, but it slides around just as well as that. All right, let's try that again. So the first one I kind of butchered, so what I did this time is I pre-cracked the egg. And now I'm going to attempt it again. We've still got a little bit of butter and oil in there. I think that's enough. A lot of the other videos that you'll see with the egg sliding around, they got a lot of oil and butter in there. And some of the comments I read basically just said, sure, you put that much in any pan, the egg is gonna slide around just fine. So let's try it at this level here. I've got it at a 3, but we're gonna drop it down to about a 2.5 now. I don't know why this thing gets really, really hot though. So, all right, dropping the egg in. Okay, better job this time. Let that kind of, oh yeah, that is much better. So, I might even eat this one. The other one had a shell in it, so I couldn't find it. Just let that firm up a bit here. Wow. Yeah, I think it's already ready to slide around. Isn't that crazy? Like, that is impressive. That is very impressive. Just out of curiosity, as I said, I'm at 2.5. Let's see how hot this is. 300 degrees, 300, 260, and how about up there? 250, and how about the handle? All the way, as you can see, all the way down to here, it's 100 degrees already. So, let's flip this egg, and then we will draw some conclusions and call it a day. So, alright, wish me luck here. There we go. Get this handle here. There we go. think it's done. So let me turn that off. Pull this off here. Oop. Okay. Take this off of the heat. So, conclusions here. I really like the weight of this compared to that. But if I had to pick an everyday user, I think I have to go with the Stargazer. The reason being is I feel like I can't really control the heat of this as well as I can control it on that one. The seasoning after cooking a pork chop started to flake off from the factory. That's fine. I've learned that, I mean, when you use a skillet, the more you use it, the darker it's gonna look, the more, different little pieces are gonna get stuck to it, and the seasoning's not gonna be this beautiful color when you first get it out of the box after, years of use. So that's fine. But I do think overall, I think the Stargazer is better and it's cheaper. So if you're on a budget and you do want, a higher end made in America cast iron skillet, and you don't want the Lodge, because if you've seen the Lodge, do I have it down here? Yeah. If you look down here, it's like sandpaper, and trying to cook on that, it takes a lot of time to build up the seasoning. So I think I have to give it to the Stargazer. All right, y'all have a good one. Please like, subscribe, share. I'll continue uploading videos. Thanks. Bye.